friends, today I am just glowing and I'm so excited to explain why. I don't like to do like a wordy intro, so don't skip yet. I'm gonna make it really quick. I want you guys to know that this video is a thank you to all of you for watching my channel. So my bat symbol applique pattern is my most popular paid pattern. I've been selling it since 2013. I've sold in over 13 countries and then I stopped counting. It is the reason why most people know my name as a crochet designer, so I especially cherish it because of that. I am offering it free in this video because earlier this week on YouTube, my most popular free pattern hit 1 million views. 1 million views! So 1 million of you have watched my video, and I really appreciate you guys coming and checking out my channel. I really appreciate you guys subscribing. My next goal is 100,000 subscribers. So without further ado, please enjoy the bat symbol applique pattern just for you guys as a thank you. For the bat symbol applique, you're going to need a G hook, which is a 4mm hook, and a medium 4 worsted weight yarn. So I'm using red heart today. I'm using pink because it'll be lighter for you to see, and I love the bat symbol applique in pink. Optional, I do have a written pattern and chart on Etsy. Links for that will be in the description. All right, let's begin. You're going to go ahead and make your slip knot. And then go ahead and chain 6. Now we're all going to go at different crocheting speeds, so I go ahead and give you the instructions first, like chain 6, and then you have time to pause, and then when you get to chain 6, go ahead and hit play again. Next we're going to single crochet into the second chain from the hook. So this is the first, this would be the second right here. Go ahead and single crochet, and then single crochet into the next 3 stitches. Chain 1, single crochet into the last stitch. Now, if these stitches are too fast for you or you don't understand the stitches, I do have some beginning tutorials and it breaks them down a lot slower. So if you're not quite at this level yet, go ahead and check out those videos. It's a beginner playlist on my channel, and then come back. Chain 8. You're going to single crochet behind the chain. So normally we'd be going into these chains this way. We're going to go behind and work in these back loops. So we're going to the second chain from the loop. So 1, 2, we're going to go into this loop right here. And we're single crochet. Go ahead and turn it so we're working those back loops there. And then you go ahead and single crochet into the next 3. So right here you'll be picking that one up. And into the next one. And one more time. You're going to chain 1. And turn. So now you have this little short row to go down. You're going to single crochet in each 4 of these stitches. So 1, go on to the next, 2, go on to the next, right here, 3, go on to the next, 4. You're going to chain 1, turn your work again, and we're going to slip stitch down this short row with 4 slip stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Chain 10. You're going to single crochet into the second stitch from the hook. So there's your hook, 1, 2, go ahead and single crochet in there, and in the next 5 chains as well. So 5 single crochets now. And now we have the top part of the bat formed. Continuing on, we're going to chain 8. And in the second chain from the loop, you're going to do a single crochet. So 1, 2, single crochet in that chain, and single crochet in the next 5 as well. Alright, now we're going to connect the bottom to the top part of this wing. So there's like this larger hole right here. We're going to connect it right there with a single crochet. So go ahead and put your hook right into that big hole and just single crochet it closed. Then we're going to do 2 single crochets into one into the next chain here, and into the next chain another single crochet. And now for a picot stitch. For a picot stitch, you're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and then slip stitch into that first chain you just made. So get the focus, 1, 2, we're going to slip stitch into the first chain, and now we're going to do 2 single crochets again. So 1 single crochet into the next stitch, and then 1 into the next. Now this is kind of muddled, but this head here has 3 stitches. So 1, 2, 3. We're going to put it right here on the right hand side. Now we're going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to slip stitch down the 4 we just made. So go back down and slip stitch. So you have 3 slip stitches there. And then we're going to slip stitch into the bottom of this head. So if there was 3 stitches like I pointed out, 1, 2, 3, we're going to put it right in the middle with a slip stitch. And now we're going to do 2 single crochets. That last part, that last stitch on the bottom of the head, we're going to go into that one for a single crochet, and then into the next stitch, we're going to do a single crochet. And now for another picot stitch, chain 2, 1, 2, and slip stitch into that first chain. And now you go ahead and do 2 single crochets. 1, 2. Okay, continuing on, we are going to chain 7. We are going to single crochet into the second chain from the hook. So 1, 2, we're going to go right in here. And then we're going to do 5 single crochets down the rest of this chain. So 5 single crochets. Alright, and now we just need to connect the bottom part of the wing to the top part of the wing. So this is kind of a tricky part. Let's see if I can. Alright, so there's this chain right here. I'm not going to go into this chain. I'm going to go right underneath it in this loop right here. So you can see that this is the top stitches. I don't want to go into that one. I want to go right underneath it into this stitch with a single crochet. So single crochet closed, then chain 1. Alright, and that is the bat almost complete. Now we just have to put a final round on it, and then we're done. Okay, now we're going ahead and in that chain that we pointed out that we didn't want to go into, we're going to put a single crochet into that stitch and a single crochet into the next. We're going to slip stitch into the next 3. 1, 2. No, we're going to slip stitch into the next 2, and then we're going to single crochet. Okay, so we had 2 single crochets, 2 slip stitches, and we ended on a single crochet. Now we're going to do a picot stitch, chain 2, we're going to slip stitch into that first stitch we just made, and then we're going to slip stitch into this next stitch here. So let me show you what that looks like on mine, right there. It just adds this pointed tip. Okay, we're going to slip stitch down the inside of this wing. So this is where I'm working right now. I'm going to slip stitch all the way down and around and up. this section here, you'll only be picking up one loop because we were working the back loop in that part. So instead of like a normal stitch, for these 3 stitches here at the bottom, it is going to be one loop. Alright, and just keep slip stitching all the way up to here. So here we have this little pointed ear on our bat, and we are right behind it. So the next place to go into would be the point of this ear. We don't want to go there yet. We're going to go ahead and do our picot stitch. So we're going to chain 2. We're going to slip stitch into that first chain we made. And then we're going to go ahead and slip stitch into the top of the ear, or the middle of this ear. Okay, and we're going to slip stitch again in the next stitch, and we're going to do another picot. So chain 2, slip stitch into that first chain, and then on the other side of this ear, we're going to go right into that stitch with a slip stitch. And then slip stitch down the ear. And we're going to slip stitch all the way around again until we get to the top of the wing. Okay, so I slip stitched all the way just underneath the point of this wing. And I'm going to go ahead and do a picot stitch. 1, 2, slip stitch into that first chain we made, and then single crochet into the next stitch, which is right here. Okay, and we're going to do 2 slip stitches. And then 5 single crochets. Okay, so we have our 5 single crochets, and then we're going to do 4 slip stitches. And then a single crochet at the end, and then a picot stitch. 1, 2, we're going to slip stitch into the first chain that we made, and then slip stitch into the next stitch on the other side, and then we're going to slip stitch all the way down till we get to this point. So just continue slip stitching down. Okay, so when you get to this curve right here, I am going to, like this corner, there's a stitch there. I am going to skip that one right there and go into the next. That way my wing will curve a little better around. Okay, slip stitch Again. We're almost there. One more, right in the middle of that point. All right, so I'm in the middle of the point. I'm going to do a picot stitch. So chain 2, and then slip stitch into that first chain that we made. And then we're going to do 2 slip stitches in the next 2 stitches here. So 1, 2, and then I'm going to slip stitch up this point. I have 2 loops there. Let's see. There we go. That worked. 1, 2, 3. So 3 slip stitches up. And now we're going to do a picot stitch. Chain 2, slip stitch in that first chain that we made, and then slip stitch right back down. It's going to take me 3 slip stitches. There we go. And then we've got 2 stitches here. We're going to slip stitch in both of those. And now we're back to the other point. We're going to put our hook right in the middle of that. And slip stitch. Okay, and now we're going to do a picot stitch. Chain 2. And we're going to slip stitch into that first chain that we made. Or we're going to slip stitch in the next 2. There we go. And I'm going to skip this next stitch here on the corner. So I'm going to skip this one. It's like a little tiny stitch here and go into the next. And just slip stitch all the way up to the point again. We are going to do a picot stitch right here at the end. So chain 2. And then we're going to the first chain with a slip stitch. And then the next stitch that we can get into, we're going to single crochet there. Then we're going to do 3 single crochets down here. 3 slip stitches. That was 1, 2, 3, 1 more. So 4 slip stitches. So we did our picot, we got our single crochet, 4 slip stitches, followed by 2 single crochets. 1, 2, and then that's it. You're going to finish it off. So go ahead and put your hook underneath the beginning stitch we made and cut it. Don't work it like I did. And finish off. Alright, let's take a look. So once your bat symbol is off your hook, it might look crinkly and wrinkly from us handling it with our hands. You're going to go ahead and straighten it out. You might want to spray it with water or put something flat on top of it. But this is what the bat part looks like. It's not the complete symbol. The oval part that you need to go with this is another tutorial. It's my oval tutorial. And if you wait to the end, you'll see a clickable video in the corner here. So you can go ahead and check that out. So the oval fits perfectly around this bat and makes sewing the bat onto the oval perfect. So I would recommend the oval pattern that I have to go with this because it does make life a lot easier. And then this just kind of takes the form of the oval, as you can see. And it makes a beautiful symbol Thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure that you subscribe. I really appreciate it when you guys subscribe and you get to see my videos first. Alright, so all you need is a blocking pad and pins. Wet your applique, pin it in place. So what that's going to do is it's going to dry into this perfect form. So the oval tutorial that I have next is really great for this bat because you can just sew right into the round of the oval and it matches the shape of this bat. But if you wanted to put this bat directly, no oval, on a hat or a scarf, it would be incredibly tedious. You would probably drive yourself crazy. So if you want that option, doing this is going to make your life so much easier and it's going to look really lovely on something like that. So it gives you another way of using this applique, and when you make future appliques, this is just a great option, just something good to know, and it's what I always do. So thanks guys for watching to the end. If you made it, leave me a comment that you love this tip. Bye.